everybody, this is Patricia and welcome back to my channel. It's time for Travel Talk. This is for the week of April the 13th, 2018. First off, let me just say April is Autism Awareness Month. And I am the proud mom of an autistic son. I am also proud to say I'm a Certified Autism Travel Specialist. So if any of you are touched by autism and you want to take a great trip, just contact me and I can help you. I can help you with all the little details because I'm a mom who understands. Also, I just wanted to let you know that Royal Caribbean is honoring Autism Awareness Month. They have a great program for people with autism. So if you want to take a trip, a cruise would be great, and Royal Caribbean will treat you right. They know how to deal with autism. And they have a special right now. It's 50% off the second guest in the room. And that, if you book now, between now and August 30th. So the second person in your room gets 50% off, and I do believe they also have a deal with the third and fourth if it's a child. So contact me if you're interested in a cruise on Royal Caribbean. And let me say this also, this is true of all cruises. The farther out ahead you book, the better deals you get. Just let me say that. Most cruise lines will give you like extra onboard credits, things like that. So if you're thinking about a cruise, now's the time maybe to book it. Now, into some news. Passports. Speaking of cruises, passports. As of April 2nd, there is an extra $10 increase in passports. The execution fee went from $25 to $35. And that is if you apply in person for your passport. If you are renewing your passport and doing it online, there is no increase. But unfortunately, if you're getting your first passport or you're doing any kind of changes in person, there will be an extra $10 added to the fee. Just to let you know, the book, the passport book, which we're all used to, the book is now $145, and they have cards now. The card is a passport that's like on a card, like a driver's license size card. It has your information on it, your ID. The card is only useful if you travel to Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean. So if you know you are just going to be doing cruises to Mexico or cruises to the Caribbean, you don't plan on any trips to anywhere else in the world, then the card is good for you. If you think you may be traveling to Europe, you're going to need the book. Now, the card is $65 for adults. Another bit of news that I just recently found out. The Hard Rock Hotel Resort in Las Vegas was sold to Richard Branson. Richard Branson owns Virgin Mobile, Virgin Airlines, Richard Branson. So he has purchased the Hard Rock Las Vegas and he is turning it into the Virgin Hotel, and it is set to open in fall of next year, 2019. So that's kind of interesting. Now on to some fun stuff. Let's start with Disney World. Right now, Disney World has a sale where you save 20% on rooms at select hotels. This is for booking rooms only, not packages that include tickets. And this is for stays from April 15th through June 10th only, and you must book these by May the 12th. And just don't forget that later in June, these are on sale before Toy Story Land opens. So this is a little push. A lot of people are waiting for Toy Story Land to open before they go to Disney. So they do have a little bit of a sale. If you're not interested in waiting for Toy Story Land, it's a good time to go. Because after June 10th, at the end of June, Toy Story Land will be opening and this sale will no longer be valid. Okay, Universal. Big news coming out of Universal. Universal Orlando. I have known for a while they were planning 2 new resorts They owned Wet and Wild. And if you have been to Orlando, Wet and Wild was on the other side of I-4. And they tore down Wet and Wild, and I had heard they were building 2 resorts. Well, yes, they are. 2 new properties. The properties as a whole, the 2 together will be entitled Endless Summer. Sounds like a Beach Boys album, which it is a Beach Boys album, but it's an odd name for a resort complex. But there's 2 sides to this. One side is the Surfside Inn and Suites, and the other is the Dockside Inn and Suites. Surfside Inn and Suites is set to open summer of 2019. Dockside will open in 2020. This is the big news. Standard rooms will start at $73 a night, and suites will start at $111 a night. There will be free transportation from the resorts over to the parks, to City Walk, and they always have a transportation that runs between the hotels. So if you want to go from hotel to hotel, if you want to eat at one of the other hotels, they have transportation available. So that is a great deal. $73 a night. And there's going to be over 2,000 rooms. It's going to be huge. So that is amazing. And I am so excited. And Aventura opens in August of this year. So just in a few months, Aventura will be opening. So, yeah. Also, there's going to be a new nighttime spectacular at Hogwarts, and it's going to be on select nights, and they're going to be doing projections onto the Hogwarts castle. They will be doing that on select nights, and when Christmas comes, they have a special Christmas one. They had the Christmas one last year, but now they're adding in projections other than Christmas, so that's pretty cool. Also, just opened in City Walk is Voodoo Donuts. Now, I've watched some videos with people going to Voodoo Donuts, and my son just can't wait to go and get some donuts at Voodoo Donuts. So, that is opening. Well, that is open now. Fast and Furious ride at Universal Studios will be opening spring of this year. It should be ready to open. I don't know. I haven't heard if it's in soft opening or if cast members Universal doesn't call them cast members, Disney does. But I don't know if Universal employees are testing it yet, but it should be opening real soon. It is a thrill ride based on the Fast and Furious franchise. Also, Halloween Horror Nights. The vacation packages are now available to purchase. They start at $215 per person per night, and that's for an adult. They do not recommend children under the age of 13 to attend Halloween Horror Nights because they don't hold back. But now, if your child is all into horror movies and you've let them, it's up to your discretion. They're not saying under 13 cannot go. They just recommend you don't bring little ones. And from the whole atmosphere, because I have been to Halloween Horror Nights, I don't think it's a place for young children either. And I have seen young children there in strollers. And I'm like, what were you thinking? No, don't take your kids to Halloween Horror Nights. It can get pretty... It's very crowded and it's very scary. And they have scare actors that wander the streets. So even if you say, well, I'm not going into the houses, the haunted houses, it doesn't matter. It's going to be all around you. And they like to jump out at you and scare you. And they're not going to hold back. So... yeah, there you go. And they have announced already one of the houses will be based on Stranger Things, the Netflix original television show. Halloween Horror Nights dates. Select nights from September 14th through November 3rd. That's about the same as last year. So, there you go. I will let you know, the closer to Halloween, the more crowded Halloween Horror Nights is. We went, if you don't like huge crowds, or you do have an autistic teenager like me who loves his horror movies, we went the first weekend it opened, but we went on Sunday night. The first weekend it opened. So a lot of the locals were not out that night because it's still a school night, and they have to work the next day. So there was not a lot of teenagers or locals there. Still quite a few. It was still really busy. But yeah, I would recommend the earlier in the season. Probably the better if you don't like the crowds. If you don't mind the crowds, it gets wilder and wilder closer to Halloween. And I will say they kind of tweak things from the beginning of Halloween Horror Nights till you get to the end. They see what works, what doesn't work. So all the little bugs and bells and whistles might not be totally worked out the first weekend, but we had a blast and we just loved it. So there you go. If you have any questions about Halloween Horror Nights, if you have any questions about Universal Studios, any questions about Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruises, just anything, please contact me and I'll be glad to help you with that. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.